Gridiron Grinder! Hut hut hike!
Booyah! Gridiron Grinder. I am Ryan. With me, as always, my buddy James. It is Wednesday night this week. We're getting to the show. This is episode 212. Same thing as we've been doing all regular season. Name that stadium. Recap of the past week. Power rankings, game picks, question of the week. That's probably our fastest intro. How's it going tonight, James?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
Pretty good, man. We're getting some snow, got some weather. Just got back from a Christmas concert. Uh, you know, that time of year, man. Just getting festive and all that fun stuff. How's it going out there?
It's going good. It's just
No snow in
no
San
snow.
Diego.
It gets cold at night. But you know, that's to be expected. We'll probably get some rain sometime soon.
Are you guys decorating at least? Getting in the Christmas spirit?
Yeah, we are. We took the kids for like a drive around the neighborhood to look at Christmas lights.
On the palm trees?
Yeah, and the palm trees. No, no, this one like street, like right around the corner, like man, they fucking go all out. They have like Christmas like strung across the street between houses
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
like I kid you not, like a winter fucking wonderland display, like a tunnel of lights and on the sidewalk, fucking all sorts of shit. Sorry, so
Hey, we're
first five
outside of the
minutes before we
first
get back.
minute.
Oh,
Just let it
okay.
fly.
You know, all over the front lawn, big ass fucking reindeer and Santas, and that's kind of cool. The kids, they probably didn't know what we were talking about, but hey,
No, that's fun, man. Even though you're not getting the snow, there's nothing wrong with getting in the spirit, right?
yeah, exactly, and it makes it difficult growing up in Michigan where you often
Yeah, you're
have
used to it,
snow.
and then it changes.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
so
your kids, they don't even know.
yeah, exactly.
You're gonna have to take them somewhere for them to get some snow.
hmm
Which, I mean, you can. You got some mountains out there, right? So,
Yeah, get the snow tires on.
yeah. All right. Well, enough of the tangent. Whenever you're ready, man, do some name that stadium for us.
All right, as you can see, travel around. This one's an obvious one. I've been going back here a lot. I actually think this is the third time I've been here in this season because they're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But first person guesses right, gets the extra special shout out, bookmark it, play it off to your friends. Last week I was in Buffalo. I thought the San Francisco Buffalo game was going to be a little bit better. I also kind of was there because, as I talked about on Friday, like between Saturday and game time, it was like something like forecasted like 23 inches of snow. So
Oh, yeah.
I just thought it'd be an interesting game to watch, and it was kind of a shit show, but
Yeah, San Francisco, man, they've just got so many fucking injuries, dude. It's just not, now McCaffrey, he's toast, and it's just like, man, they're just they can't catch a break this year. Ayuk's out, McCaffrey's done, Trent Williams is out, Bosa was out, fucking, Kelsey's been banged. I mean, not Kelsey, Kittle's been banged up this year. Although I will say this about Kittle, I know I'm about to go on another tangent here, but man, I thought he was going to have I wasn't going to say like a real bad year, but a down year because of that shit in the offseason where he lost all that weight from the surgeries and whatever else. The dude has actually had a fucking great year, man, minus being on the injury report basically every week. He's putting up some great fucking stats, man.
mhm.
So maybe losing weight was the key, helped him pick up some fucking speed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? It is it kind of is what it is with him. You expected kind of surprised with the losing the weight, but
Yeah, and I mean he's kind of a hard nosed sort of tight end, right? So he's going to take a freaking beating as the season goes on, anyhow. But yeah, so enough of the tangent. Yeah, that's a little name that stadium action. Uh, you know, take it or leave it. Most people are going to leave it. That's okay. So,
yeah.
all right, moving on with life. and the show. Let's do our recap of the past week here, James. I just pulled up NFL.com. I'm doing this purely on the fly. So if you want to take the lead, man, have at it.
All right, so the first thing, and it's kind of it might be a saving grace for Peterson in Jacksonville, but Lawrence went on the IR after the El Shahir hit, which was fucking bullshit, cheap ass hit on him on Sunday. He went on the IR, and he's likely out for the rest of the season. And El Shahir was suspended for 3 games, and he appealed it, and the 3-game suspension was upheld for the hit.
Gotcha.
And it's with the El Shahir, like it seems like every other week it's something, not really, but he's had a lot of those cheap hits.
Yeah, and I did hear D'Amico Ryans was trying to stand up for him, but I didn't see the hit, so I don't know how bad it was. It just everybody that I've heard from said it was a really dirty hit.
Yeah, I thought it was a really dirty hit. Like, Lawrence was sliding, and after Lawrence started his slide, El Shahir kind of dove at him and took his forearm to Lawrence's helmet.
Well, yeah, and so Trevor Lawrence has got a concussion, but he's also having shoulder surgery, is what I heard.
Is that I just saw he went to the IR. I didn't dive into it. I just assumed
I think if it was just the concussion, they probably would have kept him off of IR to see if he'd bounce back. But because of the shoulder injury, which he's having surgery on, they're hanging him up for the year. It sounds like.
I guess I didn't see it. I just didn't see that. I was just trying to glance for it in the article. I had assumed because it's like his second concussion in a year.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
so
they just shut him down.
So it's his 6th injury since week 6 of 2023 season. He had a concussion, two shoulder injuries, a knee injury, and an ankle injury.
Yeah, and I don't mean to be a dick, right? But even when he's been healthy, he just hasn't been playing good. So, I mean, maybe he's just not been healthy, but it just that team has been so bad this year, so dysfunctionally bad. They're just lacking discipline, and I like Doug Peterson as a coach, but if I'm the Jags, you got to get rid of the guy. It's time to start over. This group of players, they're not dialing it in for him. Something's just wrong. Whether these guys are a bunch of fucking prima donnas or what, I don't know. But ETN's having a garbage year. Lawrence is having a garbage year. Their offensive line fucking sucks. That's making it hard for everybody. But they have talent on defense, and they're still not even getting it done. And so it just all around, man, they're just in shambles, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I was looking for the other article, but. Yeah, here it is. So, did you hear about Deontay Johnson?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I knew that he had some kind of issue with the team, and like John Harbaugh was making some comments. People thought they were going to release him. And so I don't know all the details. I just know that they suspended him for a game because he supposedly refused to play against the Eagles.
Yeah, he apparently refused to play accordingly. So according to the Ravens, he is suspended for, I think it was 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team for refusing to go into the game to enter the game against the Eagles last week.
Yeah, and I mean, you rewind a few years when there was that Antonio Brown craziness where he left the game, right? It turned out he was injured. And so it's like, I want to know, what's Deontay Johnson's excuse here? You just didn't feel like fucking playing?
Yeah, I haven't seen. Well, I mean, like he hasn't really done shit this year for
no.
Like, I think he has 1 target or something the entire year.
Yeah, and I forget when he got traded. to Baltimore. But yeah, he just not, and he's had some good seasons, right? And so I understand why Baltimore traded for him. He's just not fucking doing it, man.
So it was. The article says a few weeks ago, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah. Well, it must have been right before the trade deadline.
And then says the suspension comes mere weeks after Baltimore acquired him.
Tomlin's like, ha, fuck you. We got a draft pick from you. Ha ha ha. Or whatever.
Yeah, so well no, Tom he was on Carolina.
Oh, duh. Yeah, I forgot. I'm thinking of his Pittsburgh days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tomlin. Tomlin's still probably laughing because they wasted a draft pick.
Yeah, so let me see if I don't think anything's been. Yeah, I'm not seeing any excuse statements from Johnson.
Yeah.
So it was week 10. Here it is. Deontay Johnson has played a total of 39 snaps across 4 weeks since joining Baltimore in a trade from Carolina on October 29th. But I'm
All
not
right.
seeing.
So let me ask you about this because I mean, hey, we'll find out maybe in the coming weeks. Maybe this guy will come out and speak up. But I saw something on TV earlier when I was out to lunch. Did you hear this shit about the Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs, like accidentally posting a picture on social media that had like the Lions protections on like a whiteboard in the background?
No, I didn't.
Oh, dude. So yeah, basically they were saying he just had like this boneheaded moment in the locker room or at the team facility, and he was like taking a picture of somebody and posted it on social media. And like right after they realized the guy was standing in front of a whiteboard with all the fucking words that they use for their protections, man.
Seriously?
Yeah, and so, I think LaFleur already came out and said, "Oh, we can't really gain a real competitive advantage off of that." But it's like, God damn, man, put your goddamn phones down when you're fucking working, dude. Like, they should not be allowed to have their phones in those kind of rooms. That's just this is like the exact reason why.
All right.
Oh.
But I love Dan Campbell's take on it.
So what did he say? Because I don't, I've not like heard all of the details.
So I just looked it up. I hadn't heard about this. So Dan Campbell told the Detroit Free Press, "I don't really give a crap. If we're going to lose because of code words, then we're not good enough anyway. So I think we'll just post the whole freaking playbook out there and every code word we've got. And it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt us. It won't affect us, and it's all good."
Says the guy that's doing the Applebee's commercials, like, cover your mouth. They'll steal your pick or whatever. They'll steal your order. Oh, that's funny. But hey, at least Dan Campbell. I mean, I agree with what he's saying to some extent. It's like, hey, you got to rise above that shit and just be a good team and beat them. But it doesn't help that happened.
So he went on to say, "It's on tape, the TV copy. I mean, you guys at home get more than we do until after the game. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Listen, it's all out there, and you can find any and everything that you need on the tape and how to attack people, how they're going to attack you. And no, listen, I'm not losing sleep over that. Now, do I want us posting stuff up from our locker room or our players or whatever? No, I don't, because you don't know what's going to happen with something like that. But no, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal.
All right.
Oh, I like some of these calls. A few of the more notable calls that could be seen on the whiteboard behind Gibbs in the team's running backs room included Khloe Kardashian for a naked concept,
Oh, naked, yes.
Caitlyn Jenner for a keeper, Julia Roberts for a stutter, Winfrey Ellen for a rollout, Purple Michigan Wolverine for a base run.
At least they're having fun with it. All right, I don't know anything else for the news, man. So if you got something, spit it out. If not, we can move on.
So the thing I saw, well, oh, we forgot about. Oh, did this happen? It happened on Friday, so we talked about it. Eberflus.
Oh yeah, finally getting fired. Yep.
Yeah, but the other thing was, so two things I saw on the news that I figured were worthwhile for us to talk about is Micah Hyde re-signed with the Bills and said he will retire after the season.
Okay. So kind of, the Ray Lewis, I'm going to let everybody know now because I want to make that Super Bowl run.
Yeah, but he's on the practice squad for the Bills.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah, so
happens
not
all
the
the
same
time.
as Ray Lewis, but yeah.
Yeah, that happens all the time, though. You sign a guy to the practice squad with the intention to elevate him.
Yeah.
So the NFL and the Players Association agreed to changes to the drug policy. And I just
didn't
saw
hear
this.
about that. Okay.
Changes to testing procedures, fines, and other discipline associated with violations for PDs and substance abuse. They increased the THC level to trigger a positive cannabis test from 150 nanograms per milliliter to 350.
Okay. So you just got to be high out of your fucking mind all the time.
The league will no longer tell teams what. Oh, this is bullshit. Teams will no longer be informed of the specific substance of abuse for which a player tested positive, only of the positive result and the resulting discipline.
Yeah, it seems like the team should be allowed to know as the employer of that player. Yeah. In my opinion.
So first positive test is 1/2 of the game checked. Second, 1 game check. Third, 2 game checks, and a fourth, 3. Previously,
that doesn't seem like that stiff of punishment.
No, they reduced it.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, that seems like they're
what I just listed. Under the previous policy, the first test was 1/2 of a game check. Second was 1 game check. Third, 2 game checks, and fourth was 3 game checks. Now, a first positive test incurs a fine of $15,000. Second, a fine of $20,000. Third, a fine of 1 game check, and fourth, a fine of 2 game checks.
So I mean, it just. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it, but at the same time, I'm trying to just think about like the direction of the country, right? Weeds being legalized all over the place. There's like shit like fucking magic mushrooms and other hard drugs, however you want to, like define that are being like decriminalized. I don't know, dude. I don't like it personally. If you're a professional athlete, I'm thinking that you should probably not be on drugs, but hey, maybe I'm in the minority now, James. Maybe I always was. I don't know.
They added fentanyl as a substance they test for.
Okay.
But won't incur suspensions for positive fentanyl. The player will be fined $15,000 if he refuses to attend a mandatory meeting about fentanyl.
Okay.
They also, for missed tests, they changed it because previously it accumulated over their career. You miss one test, you miss one test, and then 3 years from now you miss a second test. That counts. That's your second missed test. Now, under the new policy, it will be reset to 0 after a full year without missing a test.
Okay.
Also, they changed the reinstatement for PEDs, where previously a player suspended for PED violation could not be reinstated until he tested negative for the substance in question. Now the player could be reinstated if it's determined the presence of the substance provides no performance enhancing effect.
So you can be a drug addict.
Yeah.
And be a so what's his face? Josh Gordon doing? Where's he at, man? I'm sure he's like, fucking get me back on a team.
Dude, isn't Josh Gordon like 40 by now?
Probably. I mean, he was fucking crazy good until he started getting suspended from all the drug shit. But, oh man, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Shit. I thought he was older. He's only 33. Man, get me on a team.
In wide receiver years, he could keep playing, you know? So I just, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like you're an athlete, man, a professional athlete. It's like, even with these guys, it's like when you hear about these guys getting the DUIs and shit, it's like, man, it's like, you know, like your purpose, your everything right now, your career is being as like peak physically fit as you can be. Like you shouldn't be, you know, like maybe on like a certain occasion or something, you like go out and do whatever. But I don't know. It just seems to me like 99 times out of 100, they should be like, you know, hey, I'm getting paid fucking 10 million a year. You know, I need to be serious about doing this. You know, there's a lot of fucking CEOs that don't make 10 million a year that are giving their fucking blood, sweat, and tears to a company they work for. It's just like, I don't know. It just, whatever. You know, I'm starting to rant.
Yeah, so I wanted to. I know we had hit on Eberflus.
Yeah.
But I just saw an article, and so the headline on ESPN.com says a brutal loss, volatile locker room, and weird Zoom inside the Bears firing of Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, I mean, I heard there was like almost a fucking coup d'etat. And I love the shit I see on Facebook, man. There's like I forget how it goes, like all the memes and stuff. They're like there's like a legend of you know, or a myth that Matt Eberflus is still roaming the Lions sideline waiting to use that final timeout. It's like, oh God, here we go, dude. He's gonna get picked on forever for that, man.
All right. All right. So apparently, in the post-game message, or delivering his post-game message, Jalen Johnson interrupted Eberflus, shouting obscenities out of frustration.
Fuck you! Well, yeah, that's like the dumbest shit we've seen in a long time. I mean, dude. Oh. And I don't like, I mean, we talked about it last week. I don't think it's all his fault. There were people yelling at Caleb Williams to like light a fire under everybody and get them hurrying up if they were going to spike the ball. And everybody was just like nonchalantly fucking around. And it was like, wow, you guys just all fucked this up. Everyone fucked this up.
Yeah. One player categorized what transpired in the locker room as a shit show. So nickel cornerback Kyler Gordon fielded questions in front of his locker about the unusual way Chicago lost during the streak. When asked for the underlying reason, he said, "Next question, no comment."
Yeah, and didn't Eberflus like try to defend it in the post game or something?
Yeah, like he wouldn't do anything different, or they handled it right.
Yeah, obviously not, because you didn't even give yourself a chance to kick a long field goal. You just fucking straight lost. I mean, honestly, unless they fucking Hail Married it in that final play, they lost. They fucked it up big time.
Yeah, and I'm looking for further stuff. So.
You do your looky, and I'm getting my power rankings pulled up because that's where we're going next. And I'm going to pour myself some more whiskey. Because it's Wednesday night. Wednesday nights are whiskey nights, James. Thought you knew. I just made that up because it's Wednesday with a W, whiskey with a W, but, you know, it makes sense in my head.
No, that's about it.
Okay.
I just saw it as like,
Oh, yes.
maybe in Williams, who's this? Caleb Williams. Maybe in later years of my career, talking about calling timeout, but right now I get the call. I'm trying to lead the guys to win, and I'm trying to get everybody lined up, and from there I'm trying to make a play for the Bears. But like, dude, like right there, maybe in the later years of my career, I'll call a timeout. Well, I think next time you're in that situation, you're probably going to get up and be like, timeout.
Let's not make this mistake twice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm just not going to.
No, and dude, we have seen, you know, and I'm not going to point to a specific example off the top of my head because I don't have one, but we have seen this in the past where it's like, let's say the quarterback gets sacked or the guy gets tackled in the middle, like in the field of play without going out of bounds, and you see the coach almost instantly call the timeout. And you see the disgust on the coach's face because he's like, I don't want to call the fucking timeout, but I had to. And now we have to get a play that goes out of bounds, or you throw it out of bounds, or we're fucked. You know, and it's like, it just, everybody knows it, dude. Everybody knows it. It's like, it was a lack of fucking situational awareness by like everybody and their mom on the fucking Bears team, dude, and sideline.
Well, like I like the pictures of like Campbell on the line sideline, like after like did they not call timeout?
Yeah.
Like,
well, now Dan Campbell's a sharp man, James, but I know what you mean.
Like, is the game is it it's over? Like they didn't call timeout there.
We won. Wow, I thought this was going to be number 2 for us. Yeah, and I mean, goddamn good we won it, right? Because fucking Minnesota's still nipping at our heels, and Green Bay ain't far behind either, man.
All right, so this is what Eberflus said, a quote from Eberflus about that play.
I done fucked up.
No, our decision at that point was to be on the ball, hold our timeout, and get a play off at 15 to 10 seconds in that range. You're at 32 seconds, so get a play off after 17 seconds, throw it into field goal range there, and then call a timeout, and then kick the game-tying field goal on fourth down.
See, some of that to me means that they have practiced this and they have explain this to the players on offense, that this is the situation if we get here, and the offense did not do their part. It sounds like him as a coach was saying, hey, this was our game plan. If this were to happen, it did not get executed. And some of that's like, okay, but as the coach, your contingency is, hey, if they're lollygagging and not getting set, you got to be fucking Johnny on the spot and call that timeout anyhow, whether you like it or not, man. So shame on both sides of it, which is Caleb Williams and him. And I don't think it's just Caleb Williams. I think it's all the people on that offense. You could see them, dude. They just were like not fucking in any kind of a goddamn hurry. Like the vast majority of them. Some of them were, but like most of them weren't.
Well, plus, if the plan was a 15-yard play,
yeah,
they threw like a 25-yard pass.
No, in the way the kickers are fucking blasting 50-yarders like it's nobody's business this year, you know, they screwed the pooch. They screwed the pooch.
Yeah,
And I'm glad they did, you know. I think it's interesting how, I don't know, is it their GM saying that it's going to be the most attractive head coaching job? I mean, hypothetically it is, right? Because you have a number 1 overall pick quarterback, you have immense talent on offense, and you already have a top 10 caliber defense. And so like any coach walking into that has got to be thinking, if Caleb Williams is going to be the real deal, this is a fucking dynamite opportunity.
So one of the people they hope to interview this offseason, man, hire him. The other person, get your fucking hands off him.
No, dude, I heard about the Ben Johnson thing. Oh, if
Right.
he went to Chicago, I would go nuts, dude.
The other person they hope to interview, Cliff Kingsbury.
Oh yeah, I heard about him. Yeah, take him all day because of the
hire
USC connection. Yeah, take him all day, dude. I would probably have a little dance party if they fucking.
What USC connection? What the fuck are you talking about? Kingsbury wasn't at USC when Caleb Williams was there.
No, I think it's just the fact, right, that they have that connection. I'm not saying that, you know, him and them are buddy, you know.
I guess he was there when Caleb Williams was there.
All right, well then there you go. Then it's more than just drawing a
My
line.
bad. My bad. I thought he was. So I thought Kingsbury was at USC.
No, I mean it does seem like the timeline would have been off, but I said it because in the article I read about it, they mentioned the USC connection. And so I just assumed, okay, well, they're both from USC. Maybe they have like a mutual respect for each other or whatever else. And, you know, that can maybe help build the bond. And, you know, Kingsbury already is like an offensive minded guy. They're getting rid of a defensive minded guy. So to me, it was just like, okay, Kingsbury can make sense on a couple different levels. God, I fucking hope it's not Ben Johnson. That would drive me insane.
When did he win? Okay.
I want to see Ben Johnson have crazy success in the NFL as a head coach, everything. Just not in the NFC North.
Yeah, not in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, go AFC, and then at least we can have like some head-to-head fucking cool shit going on, you know? But for sure, not in the NFC North.
Yeah, so I didn't realize he was there, Caleb Williams, last year there, where Caleb Williams had worse stats than the previous year, so...
Yeah. That's all right. All right, James, what else do you have on the news, my man? I mean, I don't want to, like...
That was about
off
it.
of this, you know, but I do want to keep the show rolling.
That was about it. There was something I saw, but it ended up being it was a bullshit article. So that's it.
Okay, a lot of fake news out there these days, bud. All right, well, hey, whenever you're ready, bud, give me your 1 through 5.
All right. So my 1 through 5 had no changes. Detroit at 1, Buffalo at 2, Kansas City at 3, Philadelphia at 4, Pittsburgh at 5. All 5 teams won. All 5 teams, like with the exception of Philadelphia, played lesser teams, but I left Philadelphia at 4 because I think if any of the top 3 teams, I think right now, if they played each other, the Detroit or Buffalo or Kansas City would beat Philadelphia right
Man,
now.
I think Philly beats Kansas City, but it's to me, it's I'm still giving respect to Kansas City because of the record, right?
So
So
my issue with that is Kansas City just finds the most fucked
they
up
find
ways
ways
to
to
win.
win. I know, dude, and that's kind of like another reason why I'm keeping them above. I'll tell you what, man, my gut is telling me Philly has fucking put it together. Okay, the way
Yeah,
that they're
I know.
running the ball, the way that their defense is playing, Philly has fucking finally gotten back on track like they looked a couple years ago when they were Super Bowl contenders, man.
I'll give you that. They do. I just I think Kansas City would find some miraculous way to win.
Yeah, block a punt,
Block a punt,
do something
fucking.
that they haven't already done, something they haven't
Hmm.
already done, but that it would be improbable, and it'd be like, oh my gosh, man, they just keep fucking winning. There, I got to adjust my fucking temperature in here. It's getting warm. It's getting warm, my man.
All right, so give me your 1 through 5. I know we're in quite a bit of alignment here, which is abnormal.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's changed since last week either. I've got my top five intact: Detroit, Buffalo, Kansas City, Philly, and Green Bay. And so you and I were off at number five, with you having Pittsburgh, me having Green Bay. But honestly, you're going to hear a lot of the same stuff from me. I've got this next couple chunks, some movement, and then like nothing on my board, man. It was a very smooth week for me in the power rankings. But yeah, back to you at six, bud.
So for me, it was a very volatile week in the power rankings
But with
because, like,
small move, you had one massive move, but
yeah.
small moves otherwise.
So I left Baltimore at 6, and the reason why it was, I blame you for Baltimore being 6 and not me
Oh,
not being able to
okay,
properly address it because
sure.
I did my entire power rankings, and I went to send it to you, and I was like, oh shit, our tracker had one game wrong, and
We all make mistakes, James. We all make
and
mistakes.
so I had moved Baltimore up and Philly and Pittsburgh down, and then I just reversed that move because I knew I wasn't going to have time to like actually look at it and make the real
Sure. Yeah.
move on it. So then Green Bay at 7 stayed the same. After this, there's basically 2 teams in the next 20 that didn't move. Um, Washington moved up 1 spot. Minnesota moved up 1 spot, and Seattle moved up 1 spot. This is really because I tanked one team. I finally pulled the cord on them and said, you know what, it's time.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
can
we'll get
see
to that
that. I
later.
know we're not going to get there for a little bit yet, but damn, man, and I know I was like slow to drop them, but man, I thought I dropped them enough by now, but now you got me second guessing it. It just, but I guess we'll talk about it in a minute. So, all right, yeah, on my end, man, six, I've got Minnesota, moved them up one spot. Seven, Pittsburgh, moved them up one spot. Eight, Baltimore, dropped them two. It may be harsh, but at this point, you and I talked about it over the weekend. Fucking Justin Tucker has become a liability for them. And I know that this guy statistically is maybe the best kicker of all time. I mean, I'd probably maybe take Adam Vinatieri because of his clutchness. But, oh man, at some point, you got to at least bring in another kicker and bench his ass and let him know, buddy boy, playoffs are coming. We need you to get your fucking shit straight.
I actually have read the best plan for Justin Tucker. Find a hangnail, put him on the IR designated return, 4 weeks. Let him get his head right. 4 weeks from now, come back and
Right for the
see,
playoffs.
and he's right for the playoffs. And come back and see if he can turn it around. Otherwise, you have the kicker
That's
that you signed to replace him.
Yeah, and that's actually that's a very savvy way of doing it, right? Because then it's you're helping save face for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that kickers, it's a fucking head game. And so you got to do everything you can to save face. Which I will say this. After he missed one of those kicks, I did love how Harbaugh went up to him and like gave him a fucking hug or whatever, like, or threw his arm around him like, hey man, it's okay or whatever. And it's like that to me is like is a head coach. It just goes to show how good of a head coach John Harbaugh is, because some coaches would just have that disgusting look on their face like, what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck? But John Harbaugh knows kickers are delicate. You have to. I don't even know where I'm going with that. It just whatever. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
You can't do the Urban Meyer and just kick his kicking leg in warm-ups.
Yeah, you can't kick your kicker, you fucking asshole. All right, so yeah, after Baltimore, I got the Chargers at 9. I moved them up 1, and then I got the Dolphins at 10. I dropped them by 1, and I'm starting to get a little bit nervous that maybe I got too excited last week with the Dolphins. Man, my whole thing is I look at it with Tua back, and I'm like, the offense is finally going to get back into a groove. It looked like all season, even without Tua, that the defense was good. And then now all of a sudden last week it looked like, what the fuck, man? That just was like not. And I don't know, maybe it was Green Bay, Green Bay just being really good. It just seemed like a fucked up game to me. And so I dropped him 1. I wanted to go more, but the board kind of saved him, in my opinion. So
Yeah, and Tua had a good game, and I thought the issue was going to be Tua in the game, not the defense. Like Tua was 37 for 46, 365 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So I mean,
yeah.
he had a good game. It's just the defense didn't do. Actually, the defense didn't do that bad either.
Just Green Bay was fucking that good.
Was it the special teams then?
That's all I'm saying is I am perplexed, because to me, with Tua healthy, Miami should be one of my top 10 teams. But after that game, I am like, oh my gosh, should I be saving them, or should I just be cutting their throats at this point? Because now we're like at the end of the fucking year, man. It's like, there's just not enough time left for me to be like, yeah, they got to be in the top 10, because they're falling out of the playoffs, So whatever, but.
All right, so here you go. It was field position. Green Bay scored a touchdown. They started the drive first and goal after a muff punt. The next drive, we'll chalk that off. The 24-yard line. Then next touchdown drive, they started at the Green Bay 38. Their field goal drive, they started at their own 39. Their next field goal drive, well, that's the 22, so that's not that bad. Next, they had they were able to get a chokehold on the game with good field position, and that's why looking at statistically, it's not like the defense did that bad, because Green Bay only had less than 400 yards of total offense on 53 plays.
All right. Well, then you're making me feel better about only dropping them 1.
Well, no, because I was wondering the same thing, because we'll get to Miami in my next
in your next
group.
chunk. Well, you're up.
Yeah. So here, more movement. Tampa Bay moved up 1 spot to 11. Chargers moved up 1 spot to 12. Broncos moved up 2 spots to 13. Miami stayed the same at 14. I moved the Broncos ahead of Miami purely because when shit's going wrong with the Broncos, like it did this past week, they still found a way to win the game. And I like the fight in that team.
They've got that fucking perseverance. Yeah.
They got to have the confidence. Give them a year to 2 years, and they're right back in playoff contention. They're in playoff contention this year, but they're right back in Super Bowl contention.
Yeah. Denver has they're like kind of like sneakily one of my favorite teams this year. That's how much they've impressed me. And it's
Yeah.
like I'm not like a diehard Denver fan, have never been, but I just admire how goddamn good they got so fast with a rookie quarterback, man. Especially because they're carrying I don't know what the number is, like 30 something million in dead cap space for Russell Wilson still. It's holy shit, man.
We talked about it in the offseason. And was it this past year or was it the year before where it was like anybody with any talent that they had on the team, they were getting rid of?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought for sure it was tear it down, burn it down. Their salary cap's fucked. And they have one of the best defenses, and they have a lot of young fucking players on offense that are gelling, dude. It is it's a thing of beauty, dude. And so I never in my wildest dreams would have thought they would have had this kind of success, but it is impressing me and I like it. These are the kind of things I like to see. And they're not in the NFC North like the fucking Minnesota Vikings are. So it's okay for me to get excited about them, James.
So you said their cap hit this year for Russ was how much?
I don't know. I was just throwing out a number of 30 million. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know they're still carrying him on the books.
It's nearly double the number you threw out. It's $53 million.
And somehow they have a fucking competitive team on the field, man. That is crazy.
Next year's dead cap hit for Russ is $32 million. These are the reasons why.
So
we thought they were tearing it down, because you had 2 years of ridiculous cap hit.
Yeah. So it's either more fake cap or Sean Payton's a fucking magician, or a combination of the two.
Their highest this year, the highest hit on their cap by any player on the team is Garrett Bowles at $20 million.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it helps being on the rookie contract for a quarterback, right?
Yeah. They only have two people in tens of millions of dollars. I'll call Surtain. Surtain's close enough. Surtain's number 3 at 9.6.
Yeah, no, that's pretty goddamn good if they've only got, less than one handful of guys in that category.
Yeah, like after 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So Bo Nix on his rookie contract, 8, is cap hit is number 11 on the team at $3.4 million.
Yeah, they're winning on a fucking shoestring fucking budget's what you're telling me.
Yeah, they have $90 million of dead cap. Russ at 53, Randy Gregory.
$50 million, the cap, whatever it is?
It's 254.
I mean, so more than a third is wasted fucking space, and they have a team that is probably going to make the fucking playoffs.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's nuts, dude. That is fucking, and this is all I'm saying. More fucking power to Sean Payton and everybody putting that together, because that's fucking, it's insane, dude. I don't know if we'll ever see that kind of crazy architecture again. That is like, it needs to be called out like that.
Yeah, I wanted. I'll finish my 15, and then so at 15, let's see, I hit Miami and Houston. I moved them up one. I really was leaving Houston the same, but then, like I said, I tanked a team.
Sure.
And that kind of killed or moved Houston. That just automatically moved Houston up one.
Popped them up. Yeah, I got you. All right. So, yeah, for me at 11, in fact, 11 through 15, everybody got a one-spot bump. Tampa Bay, Washington, Denver, Seattle, Houston. To me, the way the board worked, it was very, very standard, winning and moving, and just everything kind of fell in place like the way it should have. Um, and they couldn't have aggressive bumps because the teams above them were also kind of blocking and adjusted properly, in my opinion. And so it was like a very systematic, very standard kind of thing. And I like what's going on my board this week. That's all I'm saying. Back to you at 16.
So I'm gonna. So a little bit of the fake. There is a little bit of trickery,
Yeah, they
but
got
it's
some
not
void years sticking in there.
right. But it's not. It's
Egregious.
not egregious. Like I for void years for cap space. Like just glancing at it, what I'm seeing is really okay. So don't because it's zero cap space or zero cap that. Dead cap, zero dead cap, zero dead cap. It's like 12 million. Oh, there we go. There it is. Zach Allen.
Oh yeah, the defensive end or outside linebacker, whatever spot they put him in.
He's listed as interior defensive line.
Okay. Yeah, I mean he's like
He,
their quarterback, pass rushing guy.
yeah, he has like 20 million um dead
That's
cap
one guy
hit.
though, dude. That's one guy. I'm not worried about that when you have all these other things working in your favor. It just seems
Yeah.
like next year they're only going to get that much better. And then
Exactly.
the year after, it's like, wow. Like I can't even fathom where they're going to be 2 years from now.
Yeah, so I next year projected they have wow. Damn. Holy shit. They have almost of the projected cap, they have almost 70 million of cap space going into next year.
Available after all this crazy shit. Well,
Yeah.
they're going to be. I don't know what his contract is, but Nick Benito is going to be, getting some kind of a raise. Man, he's been their fucking sack master this year.
Let me find where his contract is. I'll look it up while you go through 11 through 15.
Sure, yeah, and I just know he's got like 11 sacks already. Man, he's having a fucking great year. But yeah, 16. Um, I did my 11 through 15. We're at 16, but I'll do 16 and then you can do 16. So my 16, I've got the Bengals. I dropped them 5, and I know I'm still lagging from where you're at, but to me, I had to drop them 5. They're all offense. They're no defense. Man, I hung on so long. I hung on so long for these guys, and dude, if it was just about Burrow, they would have been a top 10 team still, but their defense has gotten that atrocious. And so they're at 16 and probably going to continue to fall precipitously. And then from here on out, 17 through 32, nobody moved on my board. So 17, I've got Arizona. 18, I've got the Rams. 19, I've got San Francisco. 20, I've got New Orleans. The only thing I can say here is that I kept Arizona above Los Angeles because they owned them in week 2. Otherwise, I probably would have dropped Arizona a little bit more, or well, would have dropped them instead of keeping them where they were at. But I wanted to keep that harmony on my board, and so yeah, that's my 16 through 20, man.
All right. So Benito, according to Over the Cap, he's currently value or projected value is going to be 11 million per year
Okay,
because he's still on his rookie deal.
gotcha. Okay,
So then I'll just go to 25. to flip it back? Because you just did.
Oh yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so 16 Rams moved up one spot. Falcons 17. They moved up one spot even though they lost. I wasn't gonna move them, but then I moved San Francisco way the fuck down, so they ended up getting a one spot bump. Same with Arizona. I wasn't gonna move them, but San Francisco dropped, so they got a one spot bump. The Colts got a 2-spot bump. I jumped them ahead of the Bengals. It's kind of, I was trying to drop the Bengals. And it didn't work because I moved San Francisco way down, which I have at 20. And so the Bengals ended up staying the same. Carolina moved up one spot. I seriously thought they were going to win that game.
You're getting back on the Carolina hype train.
I'm back fully on the fucking Carolina hype train until we get to game picks.
Okay.
But
all right.
22, I have the Browns. They moved up one spot, but it's like all these teams move up one spot because of what I did to San Francisco. I readjusted. 23, same thing with the Saints. Cowboys, same thing at 24. Finally, San Francisco, I dropped 17 spots. This is, they look in disarray, and yeah, you can make the argument. Well, they looked okay without McCaffrey and what's his name? Was it Mason or something like that? The running back guy.
Yeah. Mason was good in his stead, and then even Garendo was good in his stead. But
the team looks in disarray, and I had to find a spot to put them. And you can make the argument that, well, it's a warmish weather team. San Francisco's not that warm because the old quote is the harshest winter I ever saw was the summer in San Francisco. But it was a snow game. It was shitty conditions. People were slipping all over the fucking place. You know McCaffrey just came back from an injury. Why the fuck are you putting him out there for a game like that?
That's actually a really good question. Man, I didn't think about that because, last week Shanahan was making comments about like, well, hey, he just came back, we needed to give him a little bit of time to kind of like get his feet back under him or whatever. I don't know the quote or whatever, but it's like, shit, yeah, you should have been thinking the guy had Achilles issues, and now you've got him in very slippery, very bad field conditions. Although this is a knee thing, not an Achilles thing, but still, it was putting him at risk when he was already at risk.
I thought he had tendonitis in his knee.
So he had Achilles tendonitis is what kept him out all year, but he might have had knee stuff too.
Yeah, because for some reason.
So he had Achilles tendonitis in both legs.
For some reason, I thought it was. You're right. It was Achilles. I was thinking it was knee.
No, but he fucked up the knee in that game, and it probably doesn't help. Like you're saying that, he was playing on a sloppy field and the guy already had, coming off of leg issues. And so it just, I think honestly, the 49ers were desperate, dude. They fucking needed him. And I still think they're desperate and now they don't have him.
Yeah. But that's the thing about it. Like whenever you have one injury in your leg, like you overcompensate, and you cause another injury. That's what they said was Garnett, not Garnett, Durant.
Okay.
When Kevin Durant tore his Achilles, the reason he was coming back from like a calf strain, and it was he probably tore his Achilles because with the calf strain he was overcompensating. And it's the same.
I gotcha.
But I would like to say good for, and I always talk about this. I always say this, and I want to point this out again. Good for the fucking Buffalo Bills fans. After he left the game with season-ending knee injury, Buffalo Bills fans,
Bills Mafia.
I'm looking for Bills Mafia started pumping up McCaffrey's charity on giving with many donations of $7.16, which equals 23. No word how much money was raised.
Yeah. I mean, that's putting competition and sort of like respect for the game and your opponents at a different level. I like that, man. It's making it productive.
Right, but Bills Mafia regularly does this.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's
even,
what I'm just trying to reinforce it. I'm just saying that it's we always hear about the negative sides of it, and it's nice to see how a fan base could be positive about it.
yeah, like even like when Damar Hamlin went down and the wide receiver was feeling bad about it. Like they even fucking donated money to his charity because it's like he thought he did something that caused Hamlin to go down. So Bill's like, yeah, let's just give his charity money, or like fucking it just happens all the time with Tua's charity. Tua's charity got like a whole influx when he got after he got the concussion.
Oh, we killed him. Give him everything. Oh no.
In the game, like it's just like every time you turn around, they're emotional. They love their Bills, but they respect that it's inside the game. It's one thing. Outside the game, everyone's a real person.
Still human. Yeah, we're all human. No, I like that. All right, so 21 for me?
21, yeah.
Okay, 21 for me. And still nothing has changed. Nothing's changed from here on out. But Atlanta, Cleveland, Dallas, Chicago, Indianapolis. I will just say with Dallas, okay, they got to win, but come on, it was the fucking Giants, who is my bottom feeder. So I was not compelled at all to bump them, even though I'd love to give fucking Cooper Rush a little bit of love. 24 with Chicago, even though they lost, I mean, really, they fucking screwed the pooch. They could have won that game. So I did not want to drop them because, man, they fucking almost beat my top team. And then at 25 with Indianapolis, I didn't move them either, even though they won, because when I start looking at all the teams above them, I just have such a hard fucking time thinking that they're better than these other teams. They have weeks where they look great, and they have weeks where they look completely fucking lost and like total fucking garbage. And so to me, it's like, man, if Indy could string together like 3 or 4 great weeks, fuck, I would love to have them in my top 15. But they just, I don't know. In all the teams above them, like, even Cleveland, and I know Cleveland takes a ton of flack. To me, Cleveland with fucking Jameis Winston is like clearly better than Indianapolis. And so it's like, okay, well, now I got Indy 3 spots lower than Cleveland. And that just kind of feels right to me right now. So.
All right.
And I don't know where you have Indy. I'm just, I see the look on your face. I'm wondering if I'm like upsetting you by saying that.
No,
but I just,
no. I was
okay.
Something. You were talking about Indy and something jogged my memory, and I was like,
so I'm like, hey man, agree to disagree, James. Agree to disagree.
I have Indy at 19, but I can see them anywhere between like 19 to 29. Like,
yeah, you see that the range is fucked up, and so because of that, I'm just putting them towards the bottom of the range.
Yeah, and I put them towards the top of the range because one, The Falcons are pissing me off.
Yeah.
Arizona, I just don't. I'm sorry, Cincinnati, and then like Carolina, Cleveland, the Saints.
Oh yeah, you're on
Like,
the Panthers hype train. I know.
all
It's
right,
all good. Yeah, 26, bud.
26. I have the Titans. I left them at 26 because all the teams below them lost. So you're really kind of just like splitting hairs. I have Washington a lot higher on the board still, so I left Tennessee there. New England, I had Indy ahead of them. It was a good fight for New England. I considered moving them up, but left them at 27. Jacksonville, they lost to Houston. They kept it close. Again, I considered to move them up, but nowhere really to go. Raiders, same thing. Nowhere really to go here.
Yeah.
Finally,
No, yeah.
movement in this range for me. I
Go ahead.
moved the Jets up 2 spots off a loss.
All right. All right.
And this is because I feel bad.
Oh, you feel bad.
Yes.
Who do you feel bad for, James?
I feel bad for whatever team I say's defense is playing really fucking good in a text to you.
Okay. All right. All right.
A couple weeks ago, I did this with Denver. I said Denver's defense is looking really fucking good. And it was earlier in the season. They're looking really fucking good, and then they just fucking blew the game. I did this with the Jets to you. It was like I was like, apparently the Jets defense was the to play this week for fantasy because they had like a return TD, a blocked extra point, like all this shit going on, and then they fucking blow the
Seattle
game.
rallies. Yeah.
And so for those people that are still watching, tell me what defense you want me to curse, as long as it's not the Lions, and I'll send Ryan a text during the game on how good the defense looks.
Fuck, man. I like that strategy. No, I mean, hey, I don't know. I just, I stuck a fork in the Jets. Obviously not as bad as you, but I just thought, God, man, such a bunch of wasted fucking talent on that team. It sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, and also I would like to point out that there were more teams eliminated from the playoffs this past weekend.
Okay. Ooh,
Um,
that's good to know, actually. Yeah, tell me that. Yeah,
New England and the Raiders are now eliminated from the playoffs. So you add that to the Giants that were previously eliminated from the playoffs.
yeah. All
Some
right. No, that's good
fucking
because I probably should start like putting that into my power rankings, right?
somehow the Jets are not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Okay. They will be.
It's because there are 5 games remaining in the season, and they are 5 wins, 4 losses behind the Broncos, Ravens. Because the Broncos and Ravens haven't had their bye week. Um,
Yeah, and it's happening this week. So,
yeah. So after this week, if the Jets win, they
still
still
alive.
still could be alive. If they lose, they're
They're
eliminated.
done.
This is
Yeah.
the same with Cleveland, Tennessee are in the same situation, and on the NFC side, Carolina is in the same situation.
Yeah, so this is where the power rankings get interesting, right? Because even if Cleveland gets eliminated, I would be compelled to move them down towards the bottom with the eliminated teams. But I would also look at them with Jameis Winston as being a better competitive team than a lot of these teams at the bottom. But part of it is that they're paying for their decisions of the past, namely fucking hanging on to Deshaun Watson and guaranteeing him all that fucking money. and just burning that fucking bridge down. But you look at what Jameis has done for this team. Even though they
Well,
just lost to Denver, he has clearly fucking breathed a ton of life into this offense.
yeah, I miss Jacksonville. Jacksonville is also eliminated from the playoffs.
Oh, Jacksonville. Okay. All right. So
They
that's good.
actually win the tiebreaker over the Raiders because the Raiders have played 10 conference games and Jacksonville has only played 7.
Gotcha. Well, hey, that's all right. I got 4 of my bottom 6 teams eliminated, so at least I'm kind of like close on where I'm placing them.
And in number 1 pick watch,
Yeah.
we currently have the Giants as the number 1 pick,
Yes.
which they'll fuck up because and
It's
draft
the
like
Giants.
a running back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, let's just say this: if they slid out of the number 1 because they won a game like idiots, not like idiots, but you know what I mean. Yeah, and let's say they picked at 4 again. Isn't that where they picked Saquon at 4?
I thought they picked Saquon at 6.
Either way, if they picked a running back in the top 10, oh my God, their fan base would light down the entire fucking city, dude.
Oh shit. They picked Saquon at 2.
Fuck. I don't know why I thought it was 4. 2. That's nuts. And dude, Saquon had one good year for them. Come on. He just, and of course, now he goes to Philly, good offensive line, fucking got paid, and he's fucking tearing it up. I feel like the Giants got a hose job on Saquon Barkley. Just my opinion, man.
All right, let me list some people that Saquon Barkley was drafted over, and then we'll go
Okay.
back to your power rankings. Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson, Josh Allen, Roquan Smith, Minka Fitzpatrick, Vita Vea, Darren Payne, Tremaine Edmonds, Derwin James, Jair Alexander, Leighton Vander Esch, Frank Ragnow, Lamar Jackson, Nick Chubb, Shaq Leonard, Cortland Sutton, Harold Landry. I'm just listing the Pro Bowlers. Jesse Bates, TJ Chark, Brian O'Neill, Fred Warner, Orlando Brown Jr., Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I know, but now you're getting later on where it's like, well, yeah, he should have been drafted for sure by then, right? But and he honestly, man, he could have been worthy of the number 2 pick. I just and I hate to be a dick like this and say this, but I question some of his fucking commitment and work ethic, knowing that he was on a shitty team. I really just do not believe that he gave his all. I think his rookie year, he tried to give his all, but he did so much dancing around in the backfield that he got a bunch of shit from the coaches. And then the next couple of years, he had some injuries and some bullshit that maybe were a little bit milked. I don't really know because I'm not him and I'm not in the fucking organization. It was the first year that Dable was there. He had a really solid season, and then that was it. Last year, it was a decline from that, and now all of a sudden it's okay. I got paid. I'm in Philly. I'm on a Super Bowl contender. I'm gonna fucking bust my ass and be all that I can fucking be.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say. So, Quentin Nelson,
Yeah, amazing.
offensive guard, amazing. The Giants drafted a guard in the 2nd round. Okay? Just hear me out. They could have drafted Quentin Nelson in the 1st round,
Yep.
come back in the 2nd round,
Fred
and
Warner.
gotten Nick Chubb.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And Nick Chubb's, dude. I going into that draft, I was like, Nick Chubb is the fucking man, but he had the knee thing, and so you knew he was gonna drop. But dude, oh, fucking Chubb has been amazing. Chubb is like, he's such a hard-nosed fucking running back, and it's hard watching him this year, right? Because he's coming off of the knee thing, and he doesn't look the same yet. But
Hmm.
you can still see it. His vision is still amazing, but he's just not there yet as a runner.
Yeah. All right. So you had no changes the rest of your board.
Yeah,
So
so
just
26, I got
run
the
it through now.
Jets, Raiders, Jags, Titans, Panthers. So back to you for the burn barrel, man.
All right. So I have the Giants at 31. And you didn't drop the Bears off the loss. I did because I see too much. Even though they got rid of Eberflus, it's just way too much. Like, what's the next way the Bears are going to lose? Like, the Bears are the NFC version of the New York Jets. The Jets are going to jet. The Bears are going to bear.
I could see that. Yeah. No, I could see that. Yeah, you can make that argument for sure, man. I'm not gonna fight you on that. They're killing themselves, dude. They've got a top 10 defense. They've got phenomenal talent on offense. We talked about it at the start of the year. They put a rookie quarterback in probably the best position ever for a rookie quarterback. They should be a playoff team, and they're floundering.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm all right with
I
that.
mean, in theory, they could still make the playoffs though. So
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, there's
they
going to
could
be
probably.
three in the NFC North, but it's not going to be them.
All right, and your two
Yeah,
are.
yeah, my dumpster fire, same as it ever was. New England Patriots and New York Giants. I will say this about the Patriots, even though they are in my dumpster fire, um, I do really like what I see out of Drake May, and I think that they have hope for the future. But I think their roster is fucking garbage, dude. I think they have a lot of work to do. And, an off season, we've seen you can change a lot. And so give him a wide receiver one, uh, you know, build that offensive line. I can't believe they let it go to garbage like this, and then go from there. But, I would say they got to focus on the offense because you got Drake May, and then, the defense organically work on it. But the resources got to go to him and that side of the ball. And that's it. That's it for my power rankings. But
All right, so then we're on to the game picks. I looking something up first. Okay. All right, so last week you and I both had a great week. We got
fuck yeah.
both got 13 out of the 16 games correct. Gives me 131 for the season. You have 136. I'm at 67.18. You're at 69.74. We don't have that much action this week, but we have a little bit. So it's going to be
That's
a lot of
okay.
the same shit.
That's
First
okay.
up, we have Thursday night prime time at Ford Field on Amazon Prime. Unfortunately, I hate watching games on Amazon Prime
For
because
you, see, I get it on a local channel because
fuck
I'm in
you.
the. Well, James, hey, talk to me after the show. I got a hookup for you, buddy. I know a guy that knows a guy.
So we have the Packers at the Lions. A thing that concerns me about this game for the Lions is Green Bay is playing the best football of the season, and the Lions just keep getting hurt after injury after injury after injury. So the Lions, I hate saying this, but are primed to be upset in this game. Am I going to pick against them? Fuck no. I'm on the Lions.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's the injuries are starting to take a toll for the Lions. I do like that they were very swift to go and get Quan Alexander to replace Malcolm Rodriguez. But Quan Alexander is very, very inconsistent and streaky in his career, which is why he's been on like 7 fucking teams.
Yeah.
But he is also seasoned, and so I think it was a smart move to get him. When when you look at the
And like
NFL.
day one, he said he was ready to fucking go to war for Campbell.
Well, yeah, I mean, they know how to find these diehard players, man, and
Yeah.
that's huge. That's why we're here. But when I look at the NFL.com rankings, this is such a fucking tight matchup. Green Bay, the number 4 offense. Detroit, the number 3 offense. Green Bay, the number 10 defense. Detroit, the number 8 defense. I mean, dude, and then even when you go to the offense breakdown, Green Bay 10th in passing, 5th in rushing. Detroit 5th in passing, 4th in rushing. And this is like looking at the year. This is not factoring in all the fucking injuries that the Lions have to fucking endure. And so I'm with you. I cannot go against Detroit, but goddamn, I am worried about them at this point, man. They are fucking hobbled. They are some hard asses, and I hope they find a way to play through it. It's in Detroit, which I think helps, but it's fucking tough, man.
Yeah. All right. Then we're on to Sunday's games. We have the Jets at the Dolphins. You know, if this was in New York, I'd be concerned about Miami a little bit, but since it's in Miami, I'm not. I'm on the Dolphins wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like a tale of two different teams here, right? Like the Jets have just been like underperforming all year, sucking ass. The Dolphins, you know, were great to start the year. Tua got hurt. They suck so bad. Tua's been back. They've been competitive again, even though they've had some losses. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. You got to take Miami in this game.
All right. Then we have the Kirk Cousins revenge game. The Atlanta Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings. I think this past week, Kirk Cousins was distracted by the fact that he was going to Minnesota this coming week. And Kirk Cousins is going to bounce back. And the Falcons will win the game.
You're flipping to Atlanta.
I'm flipping to Atlanta.
All right, let me update Atlanta Falcons. Dude, I would fucking love it, love it if KC1, as I call him, upset his old team. When I look at the NFL.com stats, James, I'm just going to call them out here. The Falcons are number 9 on offense, number 19 on defense. The Vikings, 15 on offense, 11 on defense. It's actually a pretty gosh darn close matchup if you look just at that. And surprisingly, this is the one that gets me is that Atlanta is 4th in passing. And so, like, definitely throw Cousins some fucking love, even though he's not had a lot of touchdowns as of late. They're still getting it done in the air. But I just, it's in Minnesota. Minnesota has been so strong on defense, and Darnold has been great to keep that offense moving. And so I'm going with Minnesota, man. I would love it to be the other way, but I'm taking Minnesota.
One thing that just occurred to me on this, I want to go back to the Lions game real quick. I want to double check it.
Yeah.
But I think they only have 2 road games the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think 3 out of the next 5 are at home. Yeah, or whatever it is. Not 3 out of the next 4 or 3 out of the next.
3 out of the next 5. They have
Yeah.
they're at Chicago and at San Francisco.
Yeah.
I'm not going
That
to say
helps.
I'm not going to say the rest of the stat because
Sure.
I don't want to jinx it.
Don't do it.
All right. So then we have the New Orleans Saints at the shit show that is known as the New York Giants.
Yes.
Yeah. Put Ryan in at quarterback for the Saints, and the Saints still win the game.
Just hand the ball off. Just hand the ball off. I could do that all day, but I mean, I don't know if I have like the right voice for like Blue 32. I could work
No,
on it
you
though.
just make shit up. It's not even Blue
Yeah.
32 anymore. It's
Omaha,
like
Omaha.
Dallas is here we go,
Yeah.
and
180, 180, son. Yeah. I could make it work. You're
yeah.
right. So here's the thing, James, and I'm sticking with the Saints in this game. Like that's my pick. But man, remember the first 2 weeks of the year? They just fucking blew everybody away, scoring like 40 points a game. And now here they are at fucking 4-8,
Hmm.
man. I cannot believe how just night and day their season has been. Taysom Hill's done for the year, and so if they were playing anybody else, I would probably go against them now.
A hundred
But
percent
uh,
agree.
but yeah, but I'm taking the Saints against the Giants.
Then we have the Panthers at the Eagles, and I told you in the power rankings, I'm back 100% on the
Yeah,
Panthers bandwagon.
just not this week.
Just not this week.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell that they're going to beat the Eagles.
Oh, it'd be nuts if you picked the Panthers, man. I'd be like, James, what do you know? What do you know?
I want to pick the Panthers. Talk to me on Sunday. I might switch it. Joking. Joking.
I
Joking.
don't know. You might. You never know. I mean, dude, look at these stats. Look at these stats. These are nuts. These are nuts. All right. So, NFL.com. The Panthers, 31 on offense, 30 on defense, 29th in passing, 24th in rushing. Okay. And Chuba Hubbard's been amazing, but they got nobody else, and he's been hurt too, and whatever. The
Fuck it.
fucking
I'm going with
Eagles.
the Panthers.
Dude, no, hang on. The Eagles, fifth on offense, first on defense, second in rushing. Somehow they're only 28th in passing. But, dude, if you go Carolina, I mean, you can go Carolina. That's your choice. I'm
I
for
just
sure going Philly.
I'm going Carolina.
Oh, you crazy son of a bitch, dude. I mean, you're throwing darts because you're down 5 games with like 4 or 5 weeks left to go. I'm
5
telling
weeks
you, you
left.
don't have to
Down five
be
games.
this you don't have to be this cavalier, James, but if you want to, I will let you do it. Because honestly, you've actually been right on a few of these over the course of the season. So,
Well, like this past week, I was 100% right on the Panthers Carolina game. I was like, it's going to be a close game. Carolina's going to have a chance to win, but I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I was 100% right on that. I told you Tampa Bay was going to win by 3.
okay. Okay. All right, what do you think about Cleveland, Pittsburgh, my man?
So I'm on Pittsburgh. There's I think Jameis and the Browns are going to bounce back. So Pittsburgh is just fucking rolling, and I would like to go back to, was it week 5 when I said that Tomlin was an idiot. Why are you benching Fields to start Russ? I was
This is
wrong.
why.
I was wrong. The Over the last like 3 weeks, the Steelers are a team that historically does not score that many points, are averaging like 30 points a game.
But regardless, Russ provides stability that Fields has not gotten to yet. Maybe he will, but Russ has proven that stability. And I
Hmm.
think Tomlin likes to lean on the defense. It just happens to be in a week like last week. It was like, okay, Russ can still cook, thank God, because the defense did not work out last week.
Yeah, so I'm on Pittsburgh. Like the Steelers are just playing too good right now, and I'm gonna go back to my like way too early where I must have saw something like
Yeah.
because I had them winning the division with like 12 or 13 wins.
Yeah, I can't fucking believe that, man. I can't, yeah, because normally I'm higher on Pittsburgh than you are, but But yeah, for this game for sure, I'm taking Pittsburgh. I love what I'm seeing out of the fucking Steelers, man. They look like a really fucking solid team to me. And kind of honestly, I've been wondering when's the bottom going to fall out, right? Because and I thought it was going to happen with Justin Fields, but it didn't. And now with Russ, I'm like, oh, it seems less likely, but. You saw the crack in the defense, which still makes you think like, "Ooh, shit, anything can happen." But wow, man, I like Pittsburgh. Uh, in ways, Pittsburgh has me liking them like I like the Chargers this year. If that makes any sense. It's like, wow, they have they have so many different ways of winning, man. It's hard to not like them.
I'm looking to see if I can find. No, I guess I didn't have them. Oh, I didn't have them as high as I thought it. No, that's
Okay.
2020. That's 2023.
Yeah. I thought you had them higher this past year, but I don't know. Let me see if I can find my spreadsheet.
I should have it right. It should be like right here and free agency recap, draft grades.
So many files.
Here we go. I found it.
2024.
Here we go. I had them at 13-4.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude. Where did I have them?
I don't
You
have
only have
yours.
yours? You only have yours?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let me see if I can find that. But yeah, keep
It was
going.
like
Keep going.
it was like September or July 3rd. You're
Oh,
gonna
the
have to
July 3rd schedule. Okay, I got that one. And we did a different one right before the season started. But yeah, no, that was like our early one, right? Let me
Yeah.
see, where did I have them? Yeah, James, you had him at 13-4. Dude, I only had him at fucking 9-8, man.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And it's a flip because the last couple of years
Mm-hmm.
I had him higher than you, I'm pretty sure. And then this year I was just like, damn, dude, Cincinnati, Baltimore, I don't know. The quarterback situation, I don't know. Like, oh, yeah, no, fucking,
Yeah, yeah, because you had them at 9-8 because you couldn't pick Tomlin to go below 500. I
for
remember that
sure.
conversation, and that's the only
Yeah,
reason why you had them with 9. All
yeah,
right. Anyways, then we have the Raiders at the Buccaneers.
yes.
Ah. I
I'm
really want to
surprised the
pick.
Bucks are 6-6, man. I thought the way they've been playing this year, they've been playing with so much fucking heart, man. I can't believe they're only 6-6.
I really want to pick the Raiders. I really do. The Raiders are more rested. They had a tough game against the Chiefs that they blew by fucking missing field goals and fumbling the ball. Speaking of field goals, while I look up
Yeah.
what their next game is, all kickers are struggling. Do you see it? Like, didn't Younghoe Koo miss like 4 field goals?
I mean, all of the sudden, kickers went from being like generational in the first half of the year to what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck is going on?
Anyways, I can't find a reason to pick the Raiders in this game, so I'm gonna pick the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the Buccaneers, man. Like I said, they've been playing with so much heart this year. They've had a lot of injuries that they've had to overcome. Um, Mike Evans has been back. The running game is looking good. Defensively, they're still having issues, but I think there's enough there that Tampa Bay is like clearly in a tier above the Raiders. And it's at
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay, so I got to take them, man.
All right, then we have I'm going to refer to as the shittiest game of the week, which means it's probably going to be the best game of the week. The playoff eliminated Jaguars at the barely hanging on to playoff contention and division contention.
Yeah.
Tennessee Titans. if Trevor Lawrence was not on IR, which I think also part of the reason why they put him on IR was because they were eliminated from the playoffs and like just get healthy. If they were still in contention, they might not have put him on IR. If Lawrence was playing, I might have considered picking the Jaguars, but I can't without Lawrence. I hate the thought that Will Levis is going to beat Mac Jones because I thought Mac Jones was going to be a solid NFL quarterback, and I was really down on Levis.
Yeah, and he
I was
might
right
have been
on
somewhere else, but yeah. No, I think both of these quarterbacks, since you're talking about it, is they're in the final quarter of the season, and they both kind of have to prove that they belong somewhere in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Levis is struggling to hang on to a starter spot. Mac Jones is just basically saying, I can be a solid career backup if you fucking want me. The thing is, Tennessee has had a fucking sneaky good defense this year, and I think it's going to be harder for Mac Jones than it will be for Levis. Plus, the Tennessee running game has actually been pretty good overall, and so I'm taking Tennessee. It's in Tennessee. It's a garbage game, but you do have guys that the fire is under them, and they're going to try their fucking asses off, man.
All right. We have the NFC West showdown, which could go a long way to figuring out who's going to win the division. The sneaky good Seattle Seahawks at the, I can't say on Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals. I'm on Seattle just because I don't want Kyler Murray to win.
All right. See, I actually tried to analyze this game, right? And so Seattle beat them earlier in the year in Seattle. Now it's in Arizona. And Seattle early in the year was very inconsistent. And I look at them and I think that they've been getting better. I am, disappointed, whatever, maybe not the right word because what do they give a shit about if I'm disappointed or not? But, I was bothered that they weren't able to at least get a field goal last week at the end of the game and win. And so that to me means they're lacking some clutch play. But Seattle is still in a kind of like in a rebirth, and they're not exactly fucking lighting teams on fire, right? And so um, it's at home. I'm giving the edge to Arizona. That's all I'm saying.
So they weren't able to get a field goal because your boy threw an interception.
My boy.
Your boy threw an interception. All right. We have the Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Rams.
Coming at me, man. Coming at me.
Okay. The Buffalo is still in contention for the number one seed in the AFC, I think. And they have the tiebreaker over Kansas City because they beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
So
they're going to push in the Rams fucking shit.
Buffalo is going to beat the shit out of the Rams. I'm on the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams have been honestly at 6-6, been playing admirably considering the kind of year they've had. But Buffalo, in Buffalo, you still got a lot of guys on the hot seat. I think McDermott's got to win the fucking Super Bowl, or he could be fired. So yeah, they're gonna push their fucking shit in. It's just gonna happen.
All right. Then we have whoever the fucking new coach of the Bears is and his Chicago Bears at the San Francisco 49ers. And I hate to do this.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
But I'm going to switch another pick.
Oh, because you love the new coaches and the unpredictability.
The new coaches, the unpredictability. And
have you ever gone back and checked your stats to see how well that's worked out for you? Can you sort it that way?
No, because I don't. I'd have to go back and figure out when the coach was fired and.
I'm just saying. I mean, look, it's not a bad pick, right? You just smoke San Francisco in your power rankings, right? I mean, they're fairly close on your board. The thing is, just to me, it's in San Francisco. Um, oh, man, I don't know. I guess I'm still hanging on to San Francisco. I don't know
All
what
right.
it is.
Interim coaches since 2010
In the
in their
debut.
first in their debut game are 17 and 15.
So you got about a 50-50 chance here.
Um, time it happened this year. It just happened a few weeks ago, and I didn't pick it. Was it 12 week 12? Maybe week 11. When was Dennis Allen fired?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to Google it, man. My brain is not working that way right now.
It was whatever day it was. 6-4 and 3-7. So week 11
Okay.
when the Saints beat the Falcons.
So you're doubling down, even though you didn't have it before. I got you.
I'm going with Chicago in this game. It's just kind of a gut feeling on it. I see San Francisco as a team in disarray that has to right the ship,
Yeah.
and
No, I got you, man. I'm not going to sweat you too hard. I just, like I said, I've been hanging on to San Francisco. What are you thinking with the Chargers Chiefs, man?
Chargers Chiefs. I really wanted to pick the Chargers. I'm starting to get on the Chargers bandwagon.
I hope you do, man. I like them. I like them a lot.
And they're probably there's a good chance that my children would like the Chargers,
Well, because they're native.
but I can't pick the Chargers. I want to pick them, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I don't have confidence in the Chiefs. I don't but the Chiefs always find a way to win, but the
Yeah.
Chargers always find Chargers. But this is the thing, Chiefs this season always find a way to win, and Chargers seem to go 1-1 against the Chiefs every fucking year. So
All right. Yeah, I mean, top down. Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh. And Harbaugh's cocky as fuck. Andy Reid has just been so goddamn resourceful. Herbert, great. Mahomes, fucking just the most clutch of today. And so, um, and they got Pacheco back, right? Which is huge. And so, I don't know, man. I can't go against the Chiefs, even though,
yeah,
you know, I've been high on the Chargers. You know that. I've been pumping them probably more than I should the last few weeks. But, I still got the Chiefs in my top five. So I can't do that because they're playing at home. So I got to go
yeah.
Chiefs.
And I looked it up. The Chiefs have won the last 6 games against the Chargers.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm respecting my power rankings like I usually do. And so, that's been good for me this year.
All right, then we have the Bengals at the Cowboys.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Cowboys are
Maybe
back, baby. Yeah, they beat the Giants. Yeah, they did.
Cooper Rush.
Super
That
Rush.
was
I
more about
want you.
Rico Dowdell in the defense, but yeah, I mean Cooper Rush is what like oh man, what's Cooper Rush's record as a starter?
Oh, he's not very good.
No, no, he's fucking amazing.
No,
He's
he's
7-3 as a starter, dude.
What?
Yeah, Cooper Rush is lighting it up as a fucking starter, man.
Are you? You're shitting me?
No, I'm serious. His stats are not great, but he's fucking 7-3 as a starter, dude. He fucking won like 5 straight last year. He won his first like 4 or 5 games, man, and all of it was because fucking Dan Quinn had the defense humming like a motherfucker.
That just doesn't seem right.
Facts are facts, my man. Facts are facts. But I'm taking Cincinnati in this game.
I am as well.
Oh, okay. Let me flip that. Yes.
I want to pick. I wanted to pick Dallas, but when I start looking at this game, like, the Bengals' playoff hopes are still alive. Dallas, well, their playoff hopes are still alive too, but
Yeah,
I
but
just
not
think
really.
more alive than you think.
I mean, yeah, or yeah, I
At
guess
five and seven,
they're both on the outside looking in, 4-8 and 5-7.
yeah,
I look at it like this: Cincinnati's got the number one passing offense. They're doing fucking amazing on offense. Dallas has no offense, and their defense has been highly fucking suspect.
hmm
And so it seems like at least Cincinnati has a way of exposing them, and Dallas doesn't really have a way of doing that. And so I don't care that it's in fucking Dallas. I got to give the edge to Cincinnati. Both these teams are having a fucking horrible year.
yeah, and like the one thing about this game, and I told you this is because the art was done, they looked at possibly flexing this shitty game out of Monday night,
Oh yeah,
whatever,
the
weeks ago.
Simpsons Fun Day or whatever.
But you have the Simpsons alternate broadcast that
Yeah,
like everything was done on it and the money was spent, so they said no. So I won't be watching the game, but go Bengals.
go Bengals. Yes. All right. Well, we got 4 games on the week that we got some action, and then we're gonna peek ahead to next Thursday.
Next Thursday, in another, well, I think both teams are losing, so this week, but you have the 49ers and I'm sorry, the Rams at the 49ers. I want to look something up.
Look it up, my man.
What the what it, what is this shit? Like that's not what I wanted to. So
What is this shit? Oh.
so the 49ers are apparently 77 and some ridiculous number against 77, 69 and 3 against the Rams.
77, 69, 3. Okay.
Um, record. I'm trying to remember. 49ers. So apparently, all time. Like what is this bullshit? McVay is 3-7 against Shanahan.
Yeah, Shanahan's been good against him. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Shanahan is 10-5. What? Why am I seeing two fucking different numbers? Oh well. I'm 10-5. 10-5 against McVay.
Okay.
But
The heart wants what the heart wants, James.
You know, I'm gonna on it. I think I'm gonna respect my power rankings. I have the Rams at where do I have the Rams? I have them somewhere, don't I?
Well, you
Obviously,
should
but
have them somewhere,
so I have the 49ers at 25 and the Rams at 16. So I'm gonna go with the Rams.
yeah. I mean, an 8 spot spread, I get that, man. Me, it's a lot closer. I've got them 1 spot apart. The Rams are 1 spot ahead, but the game is in San Francisco, and so until this week plays out, and maybe I shuffle things up a little bit, I'm just going to give the edge to San Fran just for the home field advantage and them being that tight.
All right, so that's our picks. Any final thoughts on that, or do you want to move on to question of the week?
Let's do question of the week, man.
All right, cool.
So, James, man, it actually ends up being a lot more boring of a question of the week than I thought it would be. But earlier we were talking about the possibility of the NFC North sending 3 teams to the playoffs this year. And I wanted to basically get your thoughts on that and like actually like do a little bit of a deep dive into it. But dude, I don't really know how deep there is to go now that I'm looking at it because you've got, let's just say the Lions, whatever. You've got the Vikings, Packers, and Commanders is your NFC wildcard teams. Like nobody else is within fucking 2 games, 2.5, 3 games right now. I mean, dude, it just is not. I mean, it's almost a guarantee we're gonna send 3 teams to the playoffs, man.
So the next closest team 3 games back is Tampa Bay, Arizona, the Rams.
And the Packers have 9 wins.
Yeah. And all 3 of those teams are 6-6.
So the Packers basically have to win 1 game, and we're like basically guaranteed having 3 teams from the NFC North in the fucking playoffs, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, dude. That is
basically
fucking nuts.
Minnesota wins 1 game and the Packers have to win 1 game because the Packers beat Tampa. Hold on.
I mean, I get it. There could be some like freak chance that like some team wins out and the Packers and Vikings lose out. But dude, I mean, honestly, it's like in Washington is in the catbird seat for one of these playoff spots. They could fucking, even if they broke down, Washington's still a game behind fucking Green Bay, man.
Yeah. So the Packers beat the Cardinals and the Rams. They didn't play.
I mean, it's got to be the Buccaneers or the Cardinals or the Rams. Those are the only 3 teams that even have a shot. And I gotta believe the Cardinals or the Rams are going to knock each other out because they probably got to play each other in these last couple weeks.
Do they? And I don't think they do.
Maybe they don't, but I know I just
do.
say that
They
because
do.
the NFL schedules put a lot of these conference games at the end of the year, man.
They do. They play week 17.
So one of them is for sure knocked out.
Yeah. And either way, the Rams or the Packers have the tiebreaker over both of them. And the tiebreaker over San Francisco.
Dude. I don't.
So
this is nuts. This is nuts. So basically, San Francisco's best bet. Well, really, their only bet is they got to win the NFC North, which basically means they got to like fucking win out now.
They got to beat the West, they got to win the West, not the North.
Oh yeah, they got to win the West. They got to, otherwise they're out, man.
Yeah, and So they're 1-1 against Seattle. They're 2 games behind Seattle, who is damn. I don't.
So the 49ers are pretty much fucked.
So it has to be Tampa Bay because.
And even then, Tampa Bay is fucking 3 games behind the fucking Packers, man.
So here's the team that
So
the other
Tampa
team that
Bay's
could
got to
get Tampa
win
Bay.
out, and Green
Tampa
Bay's
Bay.
got to lose out.
Whoa, I got really fucking dark.
I don't know why you did that, but you got really dark, James.
I don't know what the fuck happened. So the other team that could theoretically usurp the Packers is the Saints, because the Packers and Saints still have to play. So
Yeah, but then the Saints would only be at 8 games.
if
Oh wait, no, there's 5 left.
there's 5 left.
I keep thinking there's only 4 left. Oh shit. Okay, all right. I don't know why in my head I thought there was only. All right, no, that changes it. Okay, that changes it a little bit. Okay,
It does, but like it's still not.
it's still a stretch, man.
It's
It's
still a
still a fucking
stretch. It's
stretch.
still a stretch, because if like the Saints win out, they could theoretically win their division, which then would put the Falcons in the mix for a wild card, and like really just need like 1
I
or
know,
2
but
more
the Falcons are
wins.
still 3 games behind the
Yeah,
Packers. So
exactly. So I mean, and the Falcons would win. Like if the Falcons and Bucks ended up tied, the Falcons would win the tiebreaker over the Bucks.
yeah, man,
So it's just like
dude, the North is just looking
there's
so fucking dominant, man.
yeah, there's not a likely scenario for any of those teams. It's more likely that somehow the Bears go on a roll and make the playoffs,
Which could happen, dude. Which could
which
fucking
could happen.
happen.
That's more likely
Oh.
than it is for the Packers
All right,
and
but so
Vikings
for the
not to make the playoffs.
but so for the Bears to do that, they would have to win out, and
No,
Washington would have to lose out.
no.
Well, because aren't we talking
4-8 and 8-5.
4-8 and 8-5?
3
But
games, 3.5 games.
why did they beat Washington?
No, Washington beat them. That's right.
So they got to win out, and Washington's got to lose out.
Yeah, Washington beat them.
Yeah, that's right. That was the
Or
Hail Mary game.
yeah, that was the Hail Mary game. That's right. I was thinking. I forgot. I forgot about that.
I mean, it could happen. I'm just saying, how crazy would that fucking be if all 4 NFC North teams
Well,
went?
no. Hear me out. The 3-team tiebreaker is different than the 2-team tiebreaker,
Then
because
the
you would have head to
head-to-head.
head.
Yeah.
Because then you would go to, if Washington.
Well, if it is a 3-team, because if Green Bay wins one more game, it's not a 3-team.
No, but you have other teams like Tampa Bay could catch up to Washington, Arizona, the Rams, the 49ers, the
Okay.
Cowboys
All right.
theoretically, the Saints, and
All right.
the
So you're
Bears.
saying there's a chance, there's not a chance, it's too soon.
There's an unlikely, but there's a more likely chance that the Bears make the playoffs than there is that the Packers or Vikings drop out of the playoff picture.
Yeah.
It's just, I just want like the thing that annoys me is because the Bucks beat the Lions. That's why the Lions haven't clinched a playoff.
I know,
'Cause-
man. Dude, I told you that game was going to fucking haunt us, man. And, it doesn't mean that it's a fucking problem yet, but dude, I was telling you when we lost that game that just was like a fucking bad omen to me. We should have fucking put them away. It was at home. We beat them last year. I mean, dude, it just fucking that one bothered me. That one made me question where we were going this year. And now looking at it at 11-1, I'm like, oh my god. Well, I can't believe I questioned it. But now here we are at 11-1, and we're fucking questioning it.
Here's how the Bears make the playoffs. You have a 3-team tie between the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Bears.
Okay.
The first tiebreaker used would be the division tiebreaker, which I believe the Cowboys have the division tiebreaker over the Commanders.
Okay.
Then you would have the tiebreaker between the Cowboys and the Bears. And in this scenario, that would mean the Bears in 2 weeks or 3 weeks have to beat the Lions.
Okay.
And then you would have record in common games for the Bears to make the playoffs, win the tiebreaker over the Cowboys.
All right. We're going to have to get you like a smart board where you can be like moving the teams around next week as we're talking about them.
There's all right. So that's question of the week. I think it's more likely, but that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, it's fucking it's intense. And I think, last year, the year before, or even this year maybe we thought the AFC North was going to be the division to have 3 teams. Well, they did last year, didn't they? Because Cleveland got in,
Cleveland. Did
Pittsburgh,
Cleveland get in?
Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore, right? And then didn't Cleveland melt down in the playoff?
Yeah.
It's these fucking North fucking divisions, man. Hard asses. Or did Pittsburgh not get in? I guess we gotta look. 2023 NFL playoffs.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Baltimore made it. Pittsburgh was 10-7.
Yeah.
Cleveland was 11-6, and Baltimore was 13-4.
Well, now we know. So yeah, we're about to do what they did, just in the NFC side.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Well, that's question of the week. That's all I got, man.
Any closing thoughts?
No closing thoughts, no questions, no comments, no concerns from my end. I wish I had a joke to tell you, but I don't. It's getting kind of late.
So I'm just looking at. All right, so yeah, if
you do have
the
a joke.
Bears, no, if the Bears get to 9-8,
so if they win out,
if they get to 9-8, and yeah, so they have to, and Washington would have to lose out, and then the Bears would make it.
It could happen. It's kind of rare, but it could happen, right?
Yeah, because Washington would have to be. Yeah.
All right.
It would have to be 8-9, or we'd have to have some other team in there in the tiebreaker.
Well, we'll talk about it again next week. All right, my man. That's all I got. I guess anybody who's watching, we hope you liked the show. And if you didn't, that's okay too. But subscribe, thumbs up, all that shit. We don't ask you 3 minutes in. We wait until the very last minute. So You know, if you made it this far, god damn, just do it, man. Just do it. James, like always, man, it was fun. I'll catch you later, bud.
All right, sounds good.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut hut hike.